YouTube, what the Beastmen is going on, and the Shadow Gave cometh. Okay, and Morgor has a special plan in place to go after the Skaven tonight. Let me introduce you to the armies. This is gonna be fun. Okay. All right. Front line, gore herds with shields. Second line, piggies, razor gore herds. Lots of razor gore herds. 2 Ungor raiders. And then we're going to have 3 units of Chaos Spawn supporting Morgor the Shadow Gave. And if we go take a look at the Skaven, there's going to be 3 units of Storm Vermin intermixed with some Clan Rat Spears. There are 2 units of Warp Fire Throwers, a Grey Seer with his Bell, 2 units of Skaven Slave Slingers, some Night Runner Slinger, sorry, 1 Slave Slinger, 2 Night Runners, bunch more cheap infantry, Council Guard, Clan Rat, or the Tail Slashers in the back. But let's watch and see. Razor Gore Herd are actually really good at taking out armor, so they end up being a fantastic pick. They're really good against infantry in general with their high charge and high damage. They can go berserk, but they're nice for causing a lot of damage on the charge and basically getting a lot of disruption and chaos going on. Now here comes the beginning of Morgor's special plan. He has a Bray Shaman Lore of Wild that summons a Cygor, and he has a Bray Shaman Lore of Beast. It's going to summon a Manticore. And remember that Morgor has abilities that can summon up 2 different units of Chaos Spawn. So that's already 4 summons, and possibly a 5th if there's enough Winds of Magic. Now, Chaos Spawn, really good against low armor, but they're also very good at pinning down units trying to get away. So multiple uses that you could get out of your Chaos Spawn. They're pretty high mass and make it very hard for large units to get away. So there's a lot of really beneficial fights going on. The center is a little bit rough for the Beastmen, but both of the flanks are doing very well. And the Cygor summon was able to chase off some of the skirmishers so that they can't be effective. Morgor has brought up his first unit of Chaos Spawn summon, and the Skaven are just, I mean, clinging to dear life here, trying to protect everything they have, trying to fight back. Their Grey Seer is a pretty tough unit up on that bell. Won't be particularly easy to kill, but just so many of the Skaven units are out of the fight, taking on summons that you get really good engagements like over here. Look at this Bray Shaman Lore Beast, 68 kills, 77 on the Lore of Wild. All these Gore Herds, Razor Gore Herds. I mean, the Skaven just get shattered on that flank, absolutely shattered. Now, the Tail Slashers managed to get rid of the summon just because it was a summon, and eventually it dies, and you can see the Skaven Slaves coming back in. Some of the Rat Ogres, and there's a really long fight taking place here, and then some regrouped units, and now that these Ungor Raiders are on station, they can start picking off key units too. You can see the Council Guard manages to get in here. This is a nasty fight here. Chaos Spawn, Razor Gore Herds, Gore Herds. It is a big fight, and here comes yet another Cygor summon. This is going to be 5 summons in total that the Skaven have to face, and it is an absolute summon apocalypse, and Skaven are paying the price. They've lost huge numbers of units. They had 1,800 units, and they've lost half of them, and that was outnumbering the original Allied army of 792. Now, of course, only 5... Yeah, actually, there's a couple dozen because of the Chaos Spawn, but not huge numbers added to that because of the spawn. So it just shows you that the amount of damage the Beastmen are inflicting is absolutely insane. Now, I'm just going to kind of show you the overhead real quick. These guys are chasing down routing units. There's Gore Herds swinging around. The Beastmen did eventually lose over here, but they've got regrouped units that can come back in. And really the main fight is right here in the middle where Morgor has summoned yet another unit of Chaos Spawn. That's the second one. And the summoned Cygor causes terror. There's lots of problems here. Now the Council Guard won't be affected by that terror. They're just getting overwhelmed. They just cannot take the beating that the Beastmen are dishing out here, and the Beastmen know that it will work to their favor in that regard. Look at this. Razor Gore Herds. Everything just piling in on the Grey Seer. And then the Chaos Spawn are going to be used to keep the Grey Seer from getting away. Going to try and hold them here. Grey Seers can hit hard and actually knock down some pretty big units, including Cygors. You can see that those summons are coming to an end there. So they don't get a ton of kills per se, but they are causing a lot of damage. And not going to be a whole lot of Beastmen left over here. There are some Council Guard. And then now that the Brace Shaman, Lure of Beast is free, he's over here racking up kills. Look at this, 180 kills and climbing. These Chariots are just brutal against infantry. They're so good against it. And without the Rat Ogres or anything else left, the Skaven are just really suffering. The Council Guard is going to get hit by a regrouped Razor Gore herd, as well as some Ungor Raiders firing in. So despite being a tough unit causing a lot of damage, it's just gone. And the Skaven have nothing left. And the body count tells the story of an epic fight with a whole lot of summons. So really cool army by the Beastmen here, very different. The Beastmen probably aren't super high in the power rankings of factions, but I still find them to be fun because of their uber aggressive playstyle. And you can get a decent variety out of the Beastmen. They have a little bit of heavy infantry. They've got a lot of really good light cavalry for some mobility. They really can't do flyers per se. I think they just have harpies, and manticore. So they do have a little bit. They can do a little bit of everything. They're not great at everything though. Their light cavalry is spectacular. And it's typically one of the strong points that you see used for the Beastmen all the time. Look at this, 129 kills on this Razor Gore herd. All of them getting some decent kills. The Chaos spawn, unbreakable units, so they're good. They'll come in and fight to the death, great at holding stuff down. And then Gore herds aplenty. There was still quite a few left when the battle was over. And then these Ungor Raiders just never got challenged because everything the Skaven had was in a complete frenzy to stay away from all the summoned units. And a really nice play here by Wicked, who's under the name Anaskink Lustria Walker right now, and Poison Ducky Prez here. Bringing a fun army here with the Gracier. If you look at this army, it was definitely meant to cut through cheap infantry with the warp fire throwers and then the slingers. And then there was a couple of well-armored units to slow the Beastmen down. So I get the army pick here, and as far as dealing with light cavalry, he had some Dragon Ogres, cheap spears, Clan Rat spears. He had other units around to potentially deal with the light cavalry from the Beastmen, and then the range to help deal with them as well. And you can see from the widespread army from Wicked too, he was probably maybe expecting a little bit of artillery from Skaven. Being spread out is going to minimize that damage, and it allows him to attack all over the battlefield and try and occupy the attention of his opponent, in this case the Skaven. Anyway, I thought this was a really cool army, really fun. Appreciate Wicked sending this to me. If you have a fun replay that you want me to see, people have been sending some, please keep sending some. airtotalwar@gmail.com, or join the Discord, go to the Warhammer 2 replays thread, post it there. Would love to see it. Always love to have your replays, especially if you guys get some big team battles. But I love stuff like this too, where you're going to bring in, just I think a video that gets people thinking about how to use some slightly different strategies. Now, he used an army somewhat similar to this the other day in a team battle. It worked fairly well for him there. Worked well here in the 1v1, so you'll have gotten to see a little bit of that. So think you know everything about how to pick an army in Total War Warhammer 2? Think again. Probably very few people who know just about everything you can pick in this game, and people are always changing up what they might do. And so once you think you have a faction figured, you may be wrong. Anyway, this one was fun. Appreciate it, Wicked. Thank you, and I will see you all soon with some more Total War Warhammer 2 action.